First of all, I know that some people have to understand that Summer Jam is a young man's game. And we all understand that. You know what I'm saying? But I have a big problem with Method Man and Redman getting booed. Like, I just do, Sean. Like, there is something about it. Like, there is literally something about it that don't sit right with me. It's like, we had this conversation last week, Sean. People don't know their history. And so, like, I've been on Kendrick fans' head. I was on the OG's head. But now I'm on these punk ass kids, Sean. Punk ass kids. Like, y'all in New York? Y'all booing Method Man and Redman? Like, Method Man is the biggest star from the best group that ever came out of New York.
It's crazy.
He is the author of one of the 10 best rap songs of all time, in my opinion. I'll Be There For You, the Razor Sharp mix. And he's on the hook to what I think might be a top 5 hip hop song all time in Cream. He's on 2 of the 10 best rap records of all time, in my opinion.
Facts.
How can you boo this man? Do you know who the fuck Redman is? Okay, in a climate where you arguably had the greatest era of legendary MCs, you understand that it's like, okay, like let's say your top 4 from the 90s is Big, Pac, Jay, and Nas. You know Redman is the closest person that has an argument to probably hold that 5th spot. Like if we're doing a starting lineup of 1990s MCs, you know what I'm saying? Like we got 4 slots filled. He's the 5th slot. Like he's the power forward on your top 5 90s team. He's got 2, maybe 3 classic albums in the 90s, 4 dope projects, the Meth and Red album, the El Nino album, guest appearances on countless people's stuff. And y'all are booing Redman and Method Man? Y'all are booing a top 5 MC from maybe the top era ever? Or an arguable top 5 MC from that era? I personally would pick Scarface. But what I'm saying is Redman is one of those people that is like, oh no, he's in contention for that 5th, 6th spot. Okay?
Yep.
So booing somebody like that is just letting me know you don't know your history. Like, if you do not know your history, then some things will be doomed to repeat themselves. And it's like, so now we're living in a time where it's like, I don't know, like what is it that the New York crowd, I mean, Sean, you're from Queens, like for real, tell me, what is it that the New York crowd wants from Meth and Red? Like that's like, and we're going to talk about their album, that's like booing Daz and Corrupt in Long Beach in LA. That's like booing Andre and Big Boy down here. What the fuck are you doing? And then it made me afraid. It's like, are y'all gonna boo Ray and Ghost next? Because then I'm out.
Yeah,
like I'm out.
Yeah,
like tell me what's going on. Has drill taken over New York? Like I thought the drill thing like was cool, but it's like, do you love drill so much that it's like you don't respect your elders? You should get off their lawn, punk ass kids. Get off my lawn, you punk ass kids. Stop walking your dog on my grass. George is a shoot at Will State. Get off my lawn. The shoot at Will State. You come on my grass. I don't know what they doing up top. You come on my grass like that. Pop, pop, pop. I just need to make sure your back not turned so I can beat the charge.
Yo, man.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like it's a poor representation for what's supposed to be the Mecca. Like this is supposed to be the Mecca.
I don't blame the people, Coop. I don't blame the kids in the audience. Straight up. I blame Summer Jam because of the lineup that they have out there and also where they position Meth and Red. You don't put Meth and Red on the stage and you have Sexy Red either behind them or around them or whatever. The booking was horrible by Summer Jam. That's showing Summer Jam has no wherewithal about what's going on with the culture, what's going on with hip hop. Because you have Method Man and Redman, who are 2 legacy artists and 2 legends within their own right. They're in their home state for the most part, and they're getting booed by a crowd that doesn't know them. This is a crowd group that's around maybe from their 18 to 28-year-old group. So they came to see Sexy Red. They came to see whoever else was lined up there. They didn't come to see Meth because they don't want to do the knowledge. They don't want to do the history. They don't care about the history that we do. The beautiful thing about us is that we grew up in the golden eras of hip hop from the 80s to the 90s to the early
Like
2000s. So we know what it feels like for.
that's that's like Boo and Cool G rapping Big Daddy Kane in 1999. It's like, what are you doing?
It, bro, if they were up there, they would have done
What are
that
you
same thing to
doing?
Fuji Rap. They wouldn't even know who Fuji Rap was, straight up.
No, I'm
Think
saying
about
like
this. Method,
but
yeah.
that's what I
Oh,
mean.
back
That
in
would be
our
like
time, yeah.
that would be our generation Boo and Cool G rapping Kane in 99. Like that would not happen.
Cool. We had OGs. Think about this. We had OGs. My uncles were break dancers in New York. Break dancers, graffiti. They taught me to respect the elders. They put me on poor practice teachers when I was like 8 years old. Didn't even understand, the numbers or anything like that. So they put me on that. We don't have the OG. The OGs right now, what the OGs are doing out here now? They're wearing tight jeans. No disrespect to no one, but the OGs are wearing tight jeans and goofy looking stuff, trying to blend in with the kids. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? I got an OG talking about they got the Riz. My 12-year-old daughter is talking about some Riz. And you got an OG guy my age, a little bit older than me, saying, yo, I got Riz. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do
man.
you mean? This is what we're dealing with right now, bro.
Sean, I mean this. Man, fuck these kids.
Yo, OG's making TikTok.
Dead ass.
OG's out
And
here
you want to
making
know whose fault
TikTok.
it is? Sean, you want to know whose fault it is? This is what I mean about when I was talking about the OGs last week.
Yeah.
This is your fault. You've been spending so
Yeah.
much time trying to
Yeah.
assimilate and look cool when you're
Right.
supposed to be doing shit like this. You're
Right.
supposed to be wearing your super dad shirt and
Yes.
teaching these
Yes.
niggas. Supposed to be teaching these
Teaching
niggas,
them.
trying to look
Teaching them.
cool. Kiss my ass. The fuck are
Right.
we talking
Right.
about? It's like I've
But
already
that's
spent.
what we're
I've,
in.
I've already spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on dumb shit. Like not like it's dumb, but it's like no, you don't.
Right.
Sneakers, clothes, like I get that. Like we all want to be fresh. Like Sean, both you and I are fly guys. Like
Yeah.
off this pod, and it's like there's nothing wrong with
No
being
doubt.
fly. But you spending so
No
much time
doubt.
assimilating, you're not teaching these kids. Man, fuck these
Not
kids.
teaching the youth, man. Not teaching the youth. And the crazy thing, cool, our culture and our genre of music, we're the only ones that do this. Rolling Stones would never go through this. You know what I mean? Dolly Parton. I saw Dolly Parton in Nashville last year.
It was
Every
bonkers. It was bonkers when
bonkers,
she.
fun kids, 15-year-old to 30-year-old to 40-year-old, showing love,
So
showing love and respect and honor.
so look, more proof positive that on my 40th birthday, I went home to Charlotte, North Carolina. The weekend that I went home, the Rolling Stones performed. You know what the talk of the town was? Like the entire town? Mick Jagger showed up to a local bar after the show, like just in a jean jacket and
Actually,
jeans. It was literally the talk of the entire city. It made the fucking
yeah,
newspaper.
make them move. Exactly,
It's
exactly.
like it was like literally like it's like yes, and the heavens descended upon us, and Mick Jagger popped up
Yes,
at the fucking bar after the show. People
yep,
wouldn't shut up. It almost ruined my whole 40th birthday because everybody in town was talking about Mick so damn much.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And cool, we got a super chat from CJ the Kid.
It says CJ the Kid with the $5 says blessings guys, just got here, but three Letterman had a good idea. Do one day for young artists and a second day for the OGs. Thoughts on that idea? What you say, Sean?
You know what? I'm not opposed to that because again, if we're in this space, if we're saying we're in this space, right? it's it's on us to show love across board because we should be able to bridge the gap between the young and the old and those in between. So I'm not opposed to it because again, I got a 12-year-old daughter. I want to understand what she's consuming musically because we come from music family. She loves music as I do. You know what I mean? I can't. She loves Nas. Nas is her favorite rapper of all time, of course. You know what I mean? She also, on the other side of that, she also has love for other younger artists that I may not be in tune with. So that's something that Coop and I talked about before behind the scenes about
Yeah.
being able to be more connected, not just to an age group, but more so to the genre and not just the hip hop. We have a wide range pause of music expertise when it comes to just everything. that we trying to figure out a balance on how to project that as well, because we know what the audience looking for as well. So I'm
Look
not
here.
opposed to it.
But this is what I mean is like, well, maybe our kids are just maybe because they're our kids, Sean, like as in your daughter and my daughter, maybe they're more informational. So my daughter hopped on my bed today, like literally while I was getting ready for the show, she came and hopped on the bed and she was like, because me and her were texting each other about the Eminem song. And she's like, no, Dad. She's like, I like the record though. I was like, I expect the album to be better. But she's like, yeah, she was like, but you know, she was like, the video's definitely better than the song. Like she was giving a whole announcement. She was like, the video's better than the song. She was like, but I like that he stepped back into his bag and kind of went through that material. She was like, because that was some of his best material. I didn't even know she had heard his early material. But she's my kid, so it's like she's grown up with me, like listening to the music and stuff, and she has her own ears. But she was giving me a breakdown of why she thought the song was dope, and so I understand that, you know, I mean, our opinions aren't always going to be the same as a younger generation. But I mean, Eminem came out like 10 years before my daughter was even born, and she knows who he is and knows enough about the culture to actually do a breakdown about him, not just boo his ass.
Yeah.
Because it's not like her. She was like, yeah, she was like, he's one of my favorite artists, actually. She was like, as far as rap goes, he makes some of the best songs. My daughter's kind of like, she's got a real sarcastic sense of humor, so she likes to laugh, so she relates to the dark humor, because my daughter has, like, you know, she's like her dad. She got a little bit of dark humor to her personality. So Eminem is actually like, you know, somebody who she gravitates towards, but she knows who he is. She doesn't disrespect him. Like, she understands that he's a legend in this game. And so this is just egregious. It's like literally one of the worst things I've seen in a while, because I don't care how old this culture gets. We should never be okay with booing our legends. Method Man and Redman are legends. They are walking rap gods. They are both iconic separately and iconic together.
Yeah. But
it's ridiculous.
So I don't want to start this rabbit hole, man, because I see I think Dartmouth. I think he has a solid point. Because think about this, Coop. We grew up on a certain style of hip hop, and we positioned that as the golden era of hip hop because we were there in live time when Infamous came out, when Into the 36 came out, when Illmatic, It Was Written, when all of these legendary albums came out. So we got spoiled in a period where music was at a high clip, and it taught us what lyricism should look like, regardless. We're in an age where that doesn't matter anymore. It's more about what makes you feel, what makes you bop. Because although we didn't live the life that a lot of rappers talked about back then, we didn't get in a car and shoot the place up and get back in the car and hide the burner. We didn't do all those things. But now the kids are listening to a different type of music that moves them differently. You know what I mean? So they're far removed from what we grew up on, to the point where they're looking at us like, oh, those are the old heads. They don't understand what Drake is saying on this joint, or what Sexy Red is saying on this joint, or what have you. Do you think that's one of the reasons why the Meth and Red thing just didn't go the way it should have gone? Because we think it should have been treated fair. But do you still think that's part of it?
So I think a big part of it is that New York radio and media isn't doing a good job of upholding their legends. Like, because here's the reality of the matter.
Facts.
This generation should be more acquainted with Method Man and Redman's catalog, and they're not. And that's because, quite frankly, people aren't playing I'll Be That. They're not playing Bring the Pain. They're not playing Tonight's the Night. They're not playing How High. They're not playing the Rockweiler. They're not playing these records like they should. Like, we're gonna talk about this later when we do the Wu-Tang shit. Like, no, like they randomly you should hear shit like Shadowboxing get played on New York radio. That's history. That's legendary stuff. It's like, no, you should be hearing that. Ice Cream should be getting played with Meth on the hook. Cream should be getting played. So you should be doing these things, you know? And so this is what I mean. It's not like I'm starting to realize our generational problem. It's not only these punk ass kids don't know any better, it's that the OGs didn't do their job, but fuck these punk ass kids.